The following video will outline how you can export out of MachShip a CSV copy of either your sell or cost rate cards. To export out a rate card, select Admin Rate Cards. This will bring up the View Rate Cards grid. This grid will show all cost and sell rate cards that are both active and expired. This grid can be filtered by company, carrier, carrier account, company carrier account, whether it is a cost or sell rate card, and whether it is expired or not. You can also utilize the search bar to search by either the name or abbreviation to filter down the grid. In this example, I'm going to look to export out my Velex rate cards. To do this, I'm going to type Velex in the carrier search bar. There are multiple ways at which you can export out rate cards. In order to do this in bulk, you can select the rate cards, select the Actions button, and select to export out either the current version as a single file or individual files, or a selected effective date version. If you are to select exporting out the current version as a single file, that file will be named Export Rate Cards as shown. If you elect to export out as individual files, each of those files will be named as the rate card abbreviation and the effective date of the version at which you've exported. If you want to export out a certain version for a rate card, you can do this by selecting Export Selected, Select Version. This will bring up the Export Rate Cards Select Version modal. Here, you can set the date at which you want to export that particular version for, and you can select to export either a single file or an individual file. I'm going to select single file. MachShip will then export out that file as a CSV. Should you wish to undertake the export on just an individual rate card, you can do this by selecting the cog on the right and selecting to export either the current version or for a particular version selecting the Select Version Export. This runs similar to how it does with the bulk export. Should you wish to query the versions against a particular rate card, you can do this by selecting the cog on the right and selecting View Rate Card. Down below on the View Rate Card screen, you will see a list of all the rate card versions that exist against that rate card. You can then select the cog on that version and select to export that rate card. That rate card will be exported with the naming convention as we had when you exported out individual files. So those are the various ways at which you can export out a CSV file of either your cost rate cards or your sell rate cards in MachShip.